Hi, Christopher MacDonald, reporting from just west of the tent city. I was at Drake's the other day after church, and I was talking to Charlotte Ashlock, who, that name, it sounds a little bit like a Pokemon character, doesn't it? Like Charizard or Bulbasaur. Charlotte Ashlock. And and we were at Drake's, and I don't know what Drake's is named after. It could be Drake's Bay, it could be Drake, the famous secret agent, it could be Nick Drake. I don't know. But she said she looked across the table and she said, your videos, their content is really good, but you're really kind of slow. And I went, oh my God, she's right. I'm kind of slow. And that's never going to work, not for an audience, not for a social media audience. I got to speed up. I got to be like John Green, the one of the Vlog brothers. He's always really, 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 really fast. And not only that, he gets right in the camera, which is really sort of disconcerting on one hand. On the other hand, it really gets your attention, doesn't it? Okay, so I thought fast and get in the camera. Okay, well, maybe not so very much because, I'm not as young as John Green and it shows off my wrinkles. Okay, so at any rate, now I'm down in the tent city. It's my second week and I'm embedded, which that's what you have to do. You have to embed. If you're an anthropologist and you're going to study a culture, you got to be embedded in the culture. If you're a journalist and you want to get the story, you got to embed yourself right in the middle of the story. And in this situation, if you really want to understand homelessness in Oakland, you got to go and get in the goo. There's just no substitute for it. You can't sit up on the hill in your ivory tower, and say, "Oh, I really understand homelessness." Because I've read a number of books, scholarly treatises on this, and basically, I think it has to do with it's basically they're all mentally ill and on drugs. Uh, and you, sir, are an idiot. Okay, and that's enough of you because you really don't know what you're talking about. See, when you get down in the goo, you start to realize there is a whole ton of different narratives that are going on every which direction, and there are heroic things going on and tragic things and sad, and every conceivable type of story is going on in every conceivable direction. But you can't know that unless you get down in the goo. Okay, and there's only one way to do that, and that's by living in it. Okay, now how do you do that? How do you get in the goo? Well, one definite advantage that I have is that a number of years ago I was actually homeless myself. I was homeless in Portland, in Santa Cruz, in San Francisco, and in Oakland. So I actually know the ropes, and it's important to know the ropes because if you know the ropes, if you don't know the ropes, it's terrifying, and you're just terrified all the time. But if you know the ropes, it's not terrifying at all. And actually, you really know what you're doing. And because I knew what I was doing, getting set up and getting the right equipment, and really the two things you need the right equipment and really, really good clothes. Those are the two things that you have to have. If you have those, you're fine. Okay. It also doesn't hurt if you're 6'7", and 280 pounds, and if you're kind of fearless, or dumb enough to be fearless, in my case. So I have really, really, really good equipment because I know exactly what I need and I didn't bring anything that I didn't need. Okay. So, and everything's modular in my tent. I have about 8 1 by 1 by 1 foot milk crates, which are all modularly stacked, and each one has different types of things in it. I have 2 wooden crates that those sort of Chinese packing wooden crates that all of my clothes go in. It's interesting because if you go down to the boutiques in Alameda, they're using those exact same wooden crates to show off high fashion. So I'm really, really very hip there in my tent with the high fashion wooden crates filled with my clothing. I know. Some guys are just ahead of their time, right? What can I say? Um, so you have those things, then you have like USB lights that you can recharge during the day. So I have plenty of light. I got my new laptop, which has 8 hours of battery power. Um, I have backup power, my Captain America battery pack. Um, if you know what you need and you have the right cabling and power and lighting and all of it, hey, I'm glad I put everything in storage and came down here. I got everything. I know where everything I need is and what I need. And I can really concentrate now on being with the guys and going off and listening to people and interviewing people and taking pictures and doing what it is I came here to do. It's really, I'm really free to do that and free to get about my work because all of my needs are very easily taken care of. My transportation is easily taken care of, everything that I could possibly need. And I joined a really good health club where I just have to show up with gym trunks and a t-shirt and slide my pass through, and everything else is provided. I wanted one thing that was super simple where I didn't have to think about it, because everything else is sort of paramilitary. It has to be thought through all the way through. My bag has to be packed for the entire day. And that's a good discipline as well. I'm learning some new disciplines, and I'm losing a lot of weight and working out every day. And, life is good. I'm actually, I would actually call, while I'm supposed to be suffering, which I'm not in any way, shape, or form, I'm actually getting healthier, getting stronger, having a really good time. And I know that that's not supposed to be the case, but that just happens to be the case. So, thank you, Charlotte Ashlock, you little Pokemon, you, for the advice to speed things up and to be more John Greenish. And that's it for today.